But you know what? There is a fear that we should have, and we should have it early. The Bible calls it righteousness. Science calls it Zeusophobia. But what Jesus said that fear should be is a fear of the Lord. But it says this in Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, O Israel, what does the Lord your God ask of you? But for you to fear the Lord your God, walk in his ways, to love him, to serve the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. That's what we've been talking about the past 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, we talked about Mark 12:30, which says, Jesus said, hey, the greatest thing you can do is love the Lord your God with all your mind, all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, pretty much all you got. Then last week, we looked at what Jesus said when he took it further. He said, love your neighbor as yourself. And then we come to this part where Jesus, well, actually the Bible sums it up in a different way. And now, O Israel, what does the Lord your God ask of you? Because, that's what a lot of people are asking. They're saying, well, what's my purpose? What does God want of me? I've become a Christian. What do I do now? Moses sums it up. He says, look, what your God is asking of you is this. Fear him. Fear God. But how do you do that? It goes on. It says, walk in his ways. Love him. Serve the Lord your God with all your mind, heart, soul, strength. With all everything you got. Okay? The further we get away from the Bible, the more laws we create. Think about that. The further we get away from the Bible, the more laws we create. Everywhere we look, we still have people who don't fear God. Sex, adultery, pornography are all publicly displayed and sometimes proudly. We have people who hold the bottle instead of the Bible. We have TV shows that actually make fun of God, and yet they place homosexuality, abortions, and sex both before and outside of marriage. They place them on a pedestal. And what was written almost 2,000 years ago in Romans 3:18 says this, and it's still just as relevant today as it was when it was written. It says this, that there is no fear of God before their eyes. Listen, you can be a person of character. You can be a person of influence. But it starts by fearing the Lord. Hey, it's easy to live like the world. All you have to do is just do what you want to do. And you live like the world. But when you live like the world, you're just another rock in the mountain up there. But when you fear God, you can influence the world around you. People want to be around you, people want to be like you, and they want to associate with you. And you're no longer a rock on the mountain, you're one of those towers that people can see both day and night. People of influence, people who God used, are people who start with the fear of the Lord. Love God, hate sin, go home, do right. When you love God, you have a fear of God. You know who God is, you know who you are, you know your reliance and dependence on him. When you hate sin, you don't want to commit sin. You hate sin like God hates sin. Again, you don't hate the sinner. You just don't appreciate, you don't like it, you hate the sin. And then you go home. Hey, listen, if you went home a lot more often, instead of staying out till 10, 11, midnight, when there's nothing good to do, we save ourselves a whole lot of problems. We don't have to worry as much about the stabbings and the shootings and the drinkings and the alcohol, the road rage and all that stuff that comes with it. So go home and then do right. Just do right. When you do right, you don't have to worry about doing wrong. When you do right, you don't have to worry about who you did wrong or any lies you told because you didn't do any of that stuff. So love God, hate sin, go home, do right. And that will sum up a lot of the Bible. Let's pray.